Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. All my bowlers are getting injured, man. It's funny because yesterday I was like, Sané, got to credit him, his fitness. He really has been taking care of himself, never got injured since the ACL. Leroy Sane has picked up a knock, an injury, and, I've never been happier to hear that he did get injured, yes, but it was only for 3 weeks. So the World Cup, man, he has to play there. Sane FC, we go global in Qatar. So look, Nagelsmann has to pick up some level of blame because remember in the watch along, I literally kept saying, Sane might be injured. Sane looks like he's feeling some discomfort. I noticed that like 10 minutes before he was taken off because, there were moments where he would have his hands on his legs just, bent over. He was feeling something, right? And then, of course, there's a strain. So there's a period where maybe it's just a discomfort, a muscle tightness. And then he just keeps playing and going through and running and sprinting. And then, of course, the strain would have occurred. So, yeah, man, Julian, poor game management because we were winning like 4-0. And I said, take Sané off around the 60th minute. I said it, Julian Nagelsmann. You didn't do it. We can't blame another man for Sané getting injured. Unfortunately, Leroy is injured, and that's fine. It's only 3 weeks. It's a strain. And initially, I read it, and it said Sané suffered a hamstring injury and will be sidelined for the time being. So I was like, crap, time being, indefinitely. Well, Bild is saying he'll be sidelined for around 3 weeks. So as much as the hamstring injury sucks, it's not the worst news in the world. There's definitely news that could have been worse. According to Kerry Hu from Sport 1, Leroy Sané's participation at the World Cup is definitely not at risk. Hansi is still planning with him for the tournament. So, yeah, Sané is already preferred. So, yeah, we need Sané at this World Cup. He can't miss 2 World Cups. So, yeah, for once, I'm happy that, the injury happened around this time, right? So everyone, get your COVIDs, get your codes, get your hamstrings and your ACLs. Oh, no ACLs, please. Get your injuries in the next week because we got a World Cup in 4 weeks, man. So if you want to get injured, pick this time period. Be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Kingsley Coman, he's back to fitness. Well, actually, he was back. He got a red card. That's why he couldn't play last game. Anyways, so look, people are going to notice just how much we need Sané. He has been our most efficient attacker this season, scoring and assisting in just every game he plays. And it kind of sucks that, at the peak of his form, he gets injured, a setback, which means when he comes back, he's not just going to start. Especially if we have players that come back into form. Kingsley Coman might be coming back into form, and all these other players. We have a really interesting game against Barcelona, but thankfully it wasn't, at a crucial point, in the first half of the season. We already qualified for the round of 16s. We just need a win against Inter and Barcelona, and we're into the Champions League quarterfinals with a perfect record in the group. That's what I want. Yeah, people are going to notice just how important Sané is. And you're going to see that, oh, crap, if we had Sané here, that pass would have been better. If we had Sané here, he would have shot, and maybe the shot would have been better. If we had Sané here, we'd get some entertainment, some nutmegs. People are going to understand just how important this man is for our attack. And I think he's the most composed attacker we have next to Musiala. They really read off each other. And I think I guess, it is sad. It's unfortunate. It's annoying. But I'm happy that it's only 3 weeks. I'm happy that it's not, a long time. Also, Mazraoui picked up a knock yesterday. He was taken off. Stanisic came in. And thank God, actually, he was the one holding his hamstring. Sané was holding everything but his hamstring. He was holding his legs. At one point, I thought it was his PP that got injured. He was holding his penis. So I was like, damn it, man, he lost his testicles. That's what I thought. But, yeah, Mazraoui, the guy actually holding his hamstring, thank God, my man, it's just a cramp. Ooh, man, I cannot be watching Pavard at right back against Barcelona. And, we got crazy games coming up. So in this schedule, this next month is going to be really good for football. Barcelona, Inter, and then you play, Augsburg in 2 days. So, yeah, Mazraoui, just a cramp. And yes. Noose, man, my boy. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I was getting concerned because he is a bit injury prone. If you look at his track record with Ajax. Sané, I think this is probably his first injury. Let me actually confirm this because let me confirm this. I love how the stories today are all freaking out. Sané injured indefinitely. It's like, come on, man, just read between the lines. He's not injured like that. Come on. Okay, no, actually, Sané got a tear in his joint capsule in 2021, or in the 2020-21 season. That was from September 28th to October 22nd. And he was out for 24 days. Now he has a torn muscle fiber. It's not a tear. Well, is it the same thing? I don't know. It's a different hamstring injuries, right? It's a different kind of injury. Being out for 3 weeks, is way better. But 6 games, he's going to miss 6 games, man. I mean, that just tells you, how many games we're playing. Usually be a game a week and then, add a Champions League game in there. And it's like you miss 4 games. Now you're missing 6 games. That's a crazy amount of games. But thankfully, he'll be back by November 7th. Well, I think he'll be on the bench, by November 5th or yeah. So it doesn't have to be exactly 3 weeks. Maybe it can heal faster. Like there's no need for surgery. All he needs is rehab and, don't do some workouts. Eventually he'll be able to run. So hamstrings are, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but your hamstring is technically bigger than your quad, right? So if that's the case, then hamstrings will get injured more, but that also means you're not out for a long period of time because your body's like, got to repair this. So the strain will eventually repair itself. And I'm happy it's not a huge injury. Sané isn't someone I can say is injury prone. Actually, even in Man City, he never really got injuries like that. I mean, apart from the ACL, Sané was never really injury prone. People said after the ACL, he was going to be injury prone. I mean, yeah, he did miss a lot of games. He was out for almost a year from January, from August 2019 all the way to March. So almost an entire season went by. But he came back stronger and, hasn't missed so many days due to injury. So, yeah, Leroy, man, we're with you. Hopefully he comes back where he, finishes off what he started. This season is his season. I think, we got that Ballon d'Or charge. That's what I'm saying. He's one of the top scorers in the Bundesliga, one of the top scorers in the Champions League. And really, I don't care if players get injured at this point in the season. What I do care about is if we got a Champions League knockout game in a week and you pull a hammy, I'd be pissed. I'd be angry. So, yeah, I mean, look, Nagelsmann is probably going to look at himself and go, crap, I should have taken off Sané when George from BayernNow was saying it on stream. We all saw when Sané was – he never normally does it. I mean, there's moments where he looks uninterested, right? But Sané never does this thing where he just stands still. Like he made a run after the Musiala thing where he tried to send it back to Jamal, that great pass. He should have really shot with his right. I don't know. Sané is a very selfless player. People think he's selfish, but he's actually selfless. He would rather get an assist than a goal. And you see that in his play style. Anyways, so when he did that, that was like the 60th minute. And he just stood there and kind of just, had his hands on his hips and it was bent over. And I was like, all right, either he gay or, he's bending over because something just got pulled. He needs to be taken off. And then he went on for another 10 minutes or something. And he was running around pressing. So that's where he might have gotten a worse injury. So thankfully, it's not 2 months or 4 months because once you injure one muscle and you keep trying to do more, your muscles all work together. The other one's going to start overworking some other muscle. You're going to be trying to play through the pain, and you're going to tear everything. So, yeah. For how long? 3 weeks. Am I watching the Ballon d'Or? That's in December, right? Well, I know Gavi won. Oh, crap. No, it's not in December. It's soon. I don't care. Wait. Kimmich is in the... Wait. Wait, tonight in Paris, Mane's going to finish in the top 3. Football's gone down the ditches, man. Put Mane in the top 3 Ballon d'Ors? Gosh, man, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, Liverpool did get to a Champions League final, actually. I forgot they were in the final with Real Madrid. What else did Liverpool do? I mean, they pushed City once again, like they always do. But they won 2 useless trophies. And I'm saying team awards because the Ballon d'Or is mostly on team awards these days. It doesn't matter how individually good you are as a player. If you're Luka Modric, as long as your team does well, you'll get to that Ballon d'Or. So, okay, it's tonight. I didn't know. By the way, Gavi won the Copa trophy ahead of Musiala and Bellingham, and Musiala was his best competitor, which means he had the second most votes. That's kind of stupid. Jamal Musiala deserves that trophy. But you know what? Barcelona fans can celebrate getting the Copa trophy 2 years in a row with Pedri and Gavi, respectively. But you'll go trophyless again. I'll be honest, right? Real Madrid ran through you. So who cares? We're going to run a train on you in your own stadium. We don't even need Sané for that. Gnabry's going to turn into prime R9 against you. So, yeah, whatever. Who cares about this Copa trophy? I mean, there's Bayern fans, oh, no, crying like little girls, man. And girls aren't the only ones that cry, but you know what I mean. They're crying like some wussies out here, man. Like, bro, it's not that deep. I understand, we want Musiala to win it, to put his name out there. But let's be real. The real thing that matters is that Musiala keeps performing at the level he's performing at, and he has a better career than Gavi. The best insult to Gavi and Barca fans is if Musiala becomes one of the best players in the world, didn't win the Golden Boy Award, but went on to become a real GOAT in this game. And I think that kid has the potential. So I don't care about the Copa trophy. I don't even know who it's named after. Copa America. What does it mean? It's the Golden Boy Award. Golden Boy. Look, Oscar De La Hoya lost to Floyd Mayweather, and he was the Golden Boy. So, sometimes it's not about the Golden Boy. Sometimes it's about the man that works hard, holds his head high, and is diligent through his efforts. And I think Jamal Musiala has proven that he can improve everything. Apparently, Musiala has this trainer and uses this technology where, he's practicing or improving his senses when it comes to close control and dribbling. And he actually trains this once or twice a week. And his speed and reactions are getting better and better. And I think his passing improved. And I read a story that Musiala knew that his passing wasn't always the best. This kid went from us complaining about his passes and how he picks out opponents and goes through them. And he went from that to being one of the most efficient passers in this team. If you really notice, watch how Musiala is passing. Beginning of the season, we just saw a new kid. We saw a new Musiala. His passing is beautiful. So I'm happy that Musiala is improving. I think Gavi will be motivated to do great things by winning this award. But let's be honest, how many Golden Boys are on top of their game? João Felix won it a couple of seasons ago. Mbappe won it. Well, to be fair, Mbappe's at a high level. But look at João Felix, on the bench for Atletico complaining. We got to save that kid. We got to save João Felix. Imagine João Felix, Musiala, Davies in the same team. Bro, we can't lose the ball. Everyone's cold. Oh, man. So yeah, man, I'm really not concerned about the Copa Trophy. Screw that. I guess Mane's going to be in the top 3. Good for him. But I really don't care about the Ballon d'Or anymore. It's such a useless award now. Ever since they did what they did to Lewandowski, it was really annoying. So I don't know how the hell Gabby. I guess fans have a bigger sway in the vote. Darwin Noodles got 25th in the Ballon d'Or rank. See, Darwin Núñez is one of the worst footballers to grace this planet. How the hell did Darwin Núñez? Boys, I'm tripping, aren't I? Am I tripping? Nah. Hold on. I just realized my blinds are. My camera was tripping because of I think the light getting in. How long, son? See, I can't keep repeating it. Musiala to be a GOAT. I don't know why you think that's a crazy statement I just made. Yes, if Jamal Musiala pushes himself, he can become one of the best players in the world. One of the best players of his generation. The way he's scoring at this age, he's 19. The way he's already maturing in his game, the way he dribbles and plays the game, I mean, he has the efficiency of Thomas Müller, but the technical finesse of someone like Neymar. Of course, I think Neymar, his level is advanced because he's older, and Neymar is just different. But Musiala is showing that he can mature his game to be highly efficient, but also highly entertaining. And that's the best mix of football. He's showing that he can do nice tricks, but score, weird goals. He's showing that he can take the ball on the edge of the box and make something happen. Look what he did versus England for Germany. He made that game different. He changed it. Got a penalty. Boom. Germany. Score. Musiala is showing that he's a footballer that's not just normal. He's on a different level. We used to say, his passing is, it's not the best. He went into the training ground. Who knows if he really looks at Twitter, but for some reason he knew, I got to improve my passing. He probably watches his own games like a nerd, but a good nerd because he's a baller. And then he improved. In big games, Musiala shows up. So he doesn't just show up against small teams. He'll show up versus Lazio in the Champions League. He'll show up versus Barcelona. He'll be the guy to get the assist. He's the initiator. He's the finisher. His finishing is superb. His vision has really improved, and it's reaching those world-class levels where this guy's spotting passes many people didn't even see. For Mane's tap-in where Musiala put Gnabry through and then Gnabry sent it to Mane and Mane scored a tap-in. It's Musiala taking the ball, and we all think he's passing it out wide to keep the attack going. He splits the defense with a pass, and it's crazy. So, yes, Musiala can reach freaking GOAT levels with his style of play and the way he loves football. Now, it could easily happen where he never really touches GOAT level, but he's really one of the best players in the world. That's true. But I think he's so entertaining, and this kid has people buying his shirt with number 42 on the back, knowing he's going to change his jersey number next season. We all know Musiala he's going to be getting number 8. No, not number 8. Maybe number 7 when Gnabry. I don't know. What number should Musiala get, guys? Because we don't really have a number available. That's actually a point I never thought about. We don't have a number available. I want him to get, you can't get the number 10 because Sané literally can play that position. And also he's, in England, he had number 11, but that's Kingsley Coman's number. Well, at some point, in the next few seasons, Musiala, I think he likes the 42, but that's a youth academy number. We need a mature number for him next. a number that just, shows his play style. We can't give him number 9. That's weird. That's awkward, because then people associate you with being a, striker. Maybe a number 14, nice little Thierry Henry kind of number, maybe a number 13 when Choupo-Moting leaves, or number 20. That's 10 times 2. I don't know. When Bonassar gets his contract terminated. So I'd like to see Musiala get a new number. Should take Muller when he retires. Oof, Cruyff. Yeah, 14 might be the number, man. Who's our current 14? Bayern Munich. Yeah, for Germany, he's the number 14. I don't even know who our number. Paul Vanner. Ain't no way we gave Paul Vanner the number 14. Yeah, we gotta, Paul, man, you gotta increase your number, G. He is getting the number 14. Well, that's interesting. Gotta increase it. I was listening to my own video, I guess. Yeah, let's get Musiala 14. 15, that's, wait, who has the 15? Can't give him the number 12 because that number is reserved for the fans. So to the people that are thinking 12, don't. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of good numbers out there. Just give him one of them. Just give him one of the numbers. Musiala must have number 10. Maradona. See that? I don't even think. Yeah, I think number 7 kind of fits him so well. Gnabry, man, you fat bastard. Give him the number. Number 7 fits him. Like, if you really think about it. 7, you can play, the 10, you can play a striker, you can play left wing, right wing. That's number 7. Number 8, you're more of a midfielder, you get associated with chance creation, not necessarily goals. And yeah, by the way, numbers do have a lot to do with branding. So if you think I'm just being stupid calling out numbers and how they associate with, skill, yeah, of course. If Musiala is a dribbling player, yeah, number 10 would probably work. But I think 7, with the way he plays, because 7 is, you're almost a striker as well, but you're not too far off where you're a complete striker. You can also create chances in the 10 with the 7. God, so the 14, 7 times 2, which is also 10 plus 4, might be the best number for him. Paul Vanner, switch numbers. We have 42 viewers in here. Thank you. That's crazy. Got the Musiala number. Only genius has 10s, and he's one. Can be on top. Nah, Sané ain't changing his number, man. Musiala can't get Coman's number. Unless Coman just, decided to switch numbers. I don't think the club would take that from Kingsley Coman. I mean, he worked hard for it. Now, Kingsley, by the way, hasn't really done anything this season. Oh, okay, good. According to Florian Plettenberg, Vlahovic, it's not hot with him in Bayern. Yeah, good. Internal topic or opinion, he's too expensive. Man, I love that. No need at this stage. He hasn't become an issue in 2023. Yeah, if we were linked to, I don't know, Haaland, and it wouldn't be considered too expensive at any price, 150 million. You would think it was worth it. But because it's Dusan Vlahovic, who I don't believe is really that high of a, I think he's a good striker for scoring goals, but not for, link-up play. I think Kane fits our play style the most if you look at any striker in the world. Go look at, Vlahovic's who scored. I know that's a terrible way to judge players, but if you don't watch Juve because they're boring, like me, I don't watch Juve. I watch Napoli. I watch any other team but Juventus. So, yeah, holding on to the ball, that's one of his weaknesses. His passing is a weakness. His offside awareness is a weakness. You're telling me everything about him that, means contributions to the game is a weakness. And yeah, of course he's young, but come on. You don't grow your ability to hold the ball and dribble and do the things, you do, but you got to develop those things at some point. Or you always had them but never used them. So I doubt it. Vlahovic's style is very much, get a goal, score scrappy goals. And I really don't want that. We haven't had a striker like that, kind of, the striker that isn't really, in need of linking up. Even, Miroslav Klose had the ability to link play, and go out wide sometimes. Although I think modern strikers, a lot of them just either they're all good at pressing and just speed and just no composure, in their game, or some of them just only know how to finish and don't know how to link play, right? So we got to have a mix of that. Even Haaland, I think Haaland is too much of a pace score goals merchant. He doesn't offer you much off the ball and even on the ball. Like his game is so predictable. He'll get the ball, turn, get a ball out wide. He doesn't have the vision of Kane or Lewandowski. He doesn't know how to just, do a nice little sweet turn and nutmeg someone. Like he doesn't have that, he doesn't have the facilities for that. So I think, I wouldn't. I mean, people would ask me, "Do you want Haaland at Bayern?" I say, "No, I don't want Haaland at Bayern because, we have Lewandowski, but also because I don't really like Haaland's style of playing striker. I'm a man of football. I would like to have a striker that doesn't really just score goals, or a striker that's a false nine. I don't want that. I want a mix of both. You need to be able to drop deep, get the ball, and help your team. At the same time, you need to bust your butt to go score a goal in the box, a tap in. So that's what I want. Now, Haaland made Man City one-dimensional. Yeah, people keep saying he made City Champions League favorites. I'm like, all right, let City play a tough team. Look what Liverpool did. Liverpool just destroyed. Liverpool went back to basics and still beat Man City. Why? Because City, we all know what City's trying to do. They're trying to get Haaland in behind. Now, when your center backs are Upamecano and Lucas Hernandez, who, have been pretty good at keeping Haaland away from scoring and winning games for Dortmund. I mean, he has scored against us a lot, but not like in every game he scored. I feel like it was his 50th. It was the one time we lack concentration. But I think, in big games where you have good center backs, elite level defenders, Haaland will struggle. In the Premier League, he'll have a Bozo at the back he has to play against, and then he scores. But I think Haaland will struggle in games like Real Madrid. Like, he'll always struggle in games like that. Games like Bayern, where you got Lucas Hernandez, who will bust his balls to get a tackle. He's waiting for that moment to get that last-ditch tackle and destroy you. He'll concede a penalty before he concedes. He'll get a red card before he sees you score in a big game that matters. Man City are one-dimensional now. You know what they're trying to do. Who else is scoring goals for Man City like that? I mean, yeah, Haaland has almost already 21 goals for City. But who else is getting up there? I mean, for Bayern, we got Sané scoring. Like, everyone can score at any time. Musiala scoring. Gnabry scores. Mane scoring. Who's doing that for Man City? Like, apart from Phil Foden, is De Bruyne up there in goals? No. Bernardo Silva, is he scoring like he, did last season? No. I think Aguero gave City, even though, yes, he himself was kind of a one-dimensional kind of striker where not the greatest, but he was still really good at holding the ball and doing other things. I think if Haaland had the ability to turn and create his own chances sometimes and score from outside the box and just, if he wasn't so lanky, I think City would play a different kind of game. But because he's so one-dimensional, City, the system is just built for him, man. Create as many chances as you can. But in a game where you're limited to the amount of chances you can create, then you're going to struggle. So all these people, what happened to Coman? He got a red card. He'll be back next game. How long is he out for? So I guess it's a good time to 3 weeks. God, I hate having to repeat, for the people that have been watching since the beginning. where I did the whole, talk about Sané, and then someone pops into the stream. So it's 3 weeks. World Cup is definitely not at risk. Flick is still planning with him for the tournament. I mean, Flick could have done what Joachim Low did, Joachim Low, and just not play Sané in the World Cup. And I think Germany really needs Sané at the peak of his game. I think he's Germany's best big game player. Sané loves the light of a big game. He loves the moments where people think Sané won't do anything, and then he just does everything. Look at the Inter Milan game. If you don't remember, Sané was our best player. I think, honestly, if that goal wasn't considered an own goal, I'd probably call it a Sané goal. Like, he did everything for us. Made all the runs. He was crazy good on that field. So Leroy Sané, man, he's our best, one of our best players this season, and I think people will miss him. Thankfully, he's not missing the World Cup. That would be very unfortunate considering he didn't play in 2018. So it'd be like 2 World Cups, and then his only World Cup would come in 2026. Bro, he'd be 30. Gosh, man. Be 30, man. Sané would be 30 by the next World Cup. So, yeah, I mean, we're happy that, it's not a big injury. I think I kind of blame Nagelsmann because his management, he didn't take Sané off when he showed signs of weakness. Maybe it could have been a fitness thing at the beginning, and then it became an injury. But the two are linked. In the 60th minute, he should have taken off Sané when we all saw it, but he decided to keep him on. You notice there's certain players that never get subbed off. I mean, does Müller ever get subbed off? Nagelsmann has players he just never takes off sometimes. Kimmich never gets subbed off, especially when we need him to sub off players. So, yeah, we need better game management. And I thought yesterday, I literally said it. Take off Sané. He looks tired. He looks uncomfortable. Something isn't working. He has a cramp. That's what I was thinking. I thought he had a cramp. Now it's a freaking strain in his hamstring. Now he's missing 6 games, missing Barcelona and Inter Milan. This is annoying me, man. Only Madrid can compete with us. Would PSG kill us in the Champions League? See, I don't think PSG. They're never going to have the elements, the dark arts that we have. PSG will sign the best attackers in the world, and then Danilo Pereira's in their midfield. There's just no balance with PSG. If I was PSG and if I was running PSG, when Mbappe has to leave, we sell him. We sell Mbappe, we get Nkunku back, right? You get a player that's selfless who just wants a platform to shine again and at a big club, and you just sign him. Bring Nkunku in. So now you remove the ego of Mbappe, and you still have a player you can argue is similar to his ability. Let Mbappe go complain at Real Madrid and own Real Madrid. Don't own PSG. So that's what I would have done if I was PSG. Also, I wouldn't have bought Messi. I think that's just dull. When they bought Neymar, it was a good idea because Neymar lifted their club's status. Now they're up there. People see PSG as one of the best teams in the world. But the crazy thing is they're consistently showing that they're not that good, especially in the Champions League. And they play in a trash league. So, yeah, I think if I was at PSG, I'd remove players like Danilo Pereira, these lanky donkeys. I'd stop buying dumb players, and I'd focus on building a core of French players, kind of like what Bayern do with German. Actually, Bayern have a lot of French players now. We got Tel, Pavard, Upamecano, Lucas Hernandez. I think we got the entire French national team. Of course, Kingsley Coman, Tolisso just left. It's like we had a lot of French players. So, maybe we are France FC. So, yeah, I'd focus on building a core French base. If I was PSG, I'd hate it every morning if I woke up and Bayern Munich had Lucas Hernandez and Upamecano and Pavard, even though I don't, think Pavard's the greatest. I mean, and it's crazy because we got Coman from Juventus and he left PSG for Juve. So, Crazy. And that, it might make matters worse because Kingsley scored against them in the final. So, yeah, man. Mr. Paris or Mr. Lisbon, they call them now. So, yeah, I think PSG are just not a threat, right? They don't have a core French, base. I mean, yeah, and they have a bunch of egos. Whatever manager they get will always never succeed because you're telling Neymar and Messi and Mbappe. It'd be okay if you were telling Neymar what to do, but 3 Neymars essentially and Messi, you're telling them press. Messi ain't pressing, bro. Come on, man. Messi don't press. He don't press. Come on, man. So yeah, I don't know. We are the best club in the world. Only Madrid is a bit better because of the last 7 years. Yeah, I think Bayern are bottlers. So let's be real here. Guys, we bottle things. We're the only club in the world that can have, 5 goals in a game and probably lose at the end with 10 minutes to go. We had a Champions League in 1999 in our hands, and we let it slip. So yeah, we have to be really freaking good, guys. We got to be really good. We need to be better. I think we let Real Madrid have that Champions League. We let Chelsea have the Champions League. What we should have done in 2020. Is Thiago at the Ballon d'Or? Am I seeing Thiago the Ballon d'Or? Anyways, yeah. So we let Chelsea win the Champions League. Well, let me explain why. One, we won a Champions League with Hansi Flick. What we should have done was keep every player we had. All the Alabas, extend them. Thiago, extend him. We let Thiago go to Liverpool for basically peanuts, man. That still pisses me off till this day. Extend all our key players in 2020, man. We should be doing this in 2020. Extend Hansi Flick. And then when the summer came, back Flick. I don't care if you wanted Timo Werner. Back him because keep the manager happy. Keep him smiling. Hansi probably wanted some bowlers. Let's be honest, but we were linked to Kai Havertz. Actually, Kai Havertz said Bayern were really never interested. There were no concrete talks. We didn't want Timo Werner. I'm sure Flick may have wanted those players because they were German, but part of me wants to believe that Flick wanted other players, but Bayern said we can't afford them. And then Flick was like, all right, give me Timo. And we were like, we can't afford him either. Timo sucked. Even, God, we should have. Flick, what an L. I think we should just back Flick, give him all the players he needed. And I think he'd still be here today. I mean, even he's saying, he did make some, decisions that were premature. I mean, yeah, Flick Bayern isn't really over. He'll coach us one day. I'm freaking certain of it. But yeah, I think we let Chelsea win the Champions League because we didn't strengthen. We could have been dominant for. We should be favorites every year. I don't know why. Everyone says City. It's because they have Pep, and they just. When City win in the Premier League, they look so good. But in the Champions League, where the margins are tighter than ever, I don't know, man. People just overrate City so much. I actually think Napoli right now would go toe-to-toe with Man City. I don't even care what you say. I think City became so one-dimensional with Haaland. And without Haaland, they still wouldn't have an outlet. City played 5 midfielders in a game versus Liverpool because they wanted to control the midfield, which they did by having more of the ball. But that also meant all Liverpool needed to do was settle in a 4-4-2 and just defend and, limit City's chances and then counterattack. And if, Darwin Noodles didn't suck so much, Darwin Nada, Liverpool would have scored a second goal. Alisson really got an assist. That guy has an assist catalog like no one else. How many times does he just bang the ball up to Salah and he scores? I don't know. Alisson might be the best passer in the world. Alisson gets more assists than Gravenberch, which is crazy. Gravenberch doesn't even play, man. All right, I can't wait for the game versus Augsburg for the Pokal. It's going to be fun because we might do some rotation that I'm excited about. All right, but thank you everyone so much for watching. Pep isn't a good coach. No, actually, Pep is the greatest coach of all time. He's just not a great manager. That's the difference. Pep is a great tactician. He's able to take players and coach them into performing, but he's not a great manager. He can't manage players when it matters. He can't manage, it's not a coincidence that every freaking team Pep has coached, every season since Barcelona when he had Messi, you'll just have a moment where you think, all right, we're going to win this. And then Pep overthinks his tactics. He shows up to a stadium with 5 midfielders and tries to control the game. And he does these experiments like Nagelsmann that just never work. Yeah, Pep is the greatest tactician of all time, but he's not the greatest manager of all time. I think there's managers that can take poor players and motivate them into doing great things. Jupp Heynckes, I would argue, is a greater manager than Pep. But Pep is the greatest tactician of all time. There's no one else that has added so much to football in different eras than Pep Guardiola. Tell me who did that? Who coached, tiki-taka and then translated tiki-taka into high pressing and then did it in different leagues. And yeah, he had the best players in the world, but he was still able to show, move his style and translate it across continents while adapting to modern things. So that's, Pep has that. Like, I will say Pep underachieved at Bayern because he took a team that won the Champions League and didn't, do it again. And that's actually exactly true. He did underachieve. He would tell you himself, and the Bayern board would tell you. And the reason he underachieved wasn't because he was a bad coach. It was because or a bad tactician. It was because he overthought every big game. So we didn't win the Champions League with Pep because in games where we just needed to keep things simple, he would move in with 5 midfielders. Against Barcelona, we went to the Camp Nou, and yeah, we didn't have a lot of players available. This was 2015. And instead of just, keeping a good shape at the back and countering Barcelona in their own stadium, Pep wanted us to gegenpress. I watched the game back a couple years ago. Even I was shocked. I was like, damn, this dude really went to the Camp Nou and had us gegenpressing Barcelona with Messi, Neymar, Suarez. And the crazy thing is, the goals they scored, I believe one of them directly came from them going through our pressure and Messi and Neymar and Mbappe counterattacking us. So, that's one thing with Pep. He overthinks big games. He experiments because he wants the opposition to be caught by surprise. So that's what Pep is really about. And I don't mind that. He's a manager. He wants his teams to play a certain way every game, and that's fine. But yeah, I think it can lead to you making some really weird decisions and watching some odd football. So that's Pep. And then in 2016 against Atletico, it was one counterattack. And if you notice, every Pep team, when you're winning, Pep he just has an ability to not park the bus. Like he won't tell his team to sit back. Like Pep is a believer in control the game through possession. But sometimes, man, give the opponent the ball. Give Atletico the ball. Let him do something. Don't suffer a counterattack. That's what you don't want to do because that's how they scored. They counterattack. So, yeah, he overthought that too. Sometimes simpler is better, Pep. Someone tell Pep that. But yeah, man, I still believe Pep is one of the greatest managers of all time. But that's he's the greatest tactician of all time. No one comes close. But I don't think he's a greater manager than Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo can walk in a room with Zidane, Andrea Pirlo, just, Sergio Ramos, all these big names, and just tell him a joke, and they all get behind him immediately. He has the charisma. Does Pep strike you as someone with charisma? You think at a wedding or at a party or at a ceremony, Pep stands up and everyone starts paying attention to him and listening to him? Well, maybe because he has the name, sure, but no one's trying to. Pep ain't charismatic. He's intense, right? You know, my man's grabbing Kimmich's face and he's trying to coach my man. The game ended, Pep. Relax. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia, and peace.